Hello, everybody. This is Aston Osai, Superintendent of St. Louis Park Public Schools, and you're listening to the Share the Mic podcast, the show that explores what connects our school community, who we are as individuals, and who we are as a collective. Through conversations with students, staff, and community members, we'll talk about what brings us joy, our hopes and dreams, and our connection to our strategic plan for racial equity transformation. Avery, welcome to the Share the Mic podcast. I'm so excited to spend some time with you today. I'm interviewing you as a part of a series. We're talking to several members of the class of 2023. Mm-hmm. Congratulations, by the way, of being close to graduation and really just trying to learn more about their experience here in St. Louis Park Public Schools and their future plans. So if you would be willing, I would love to hear about who you are and what your experience has been like here in St. Louis Park Public Schools. When did you start here in St. Louis Park?
I started here the second semester of my junior year.
Okay.
I'm originally from Kansas.
Okay.
I transferred January of my junior year. I had a lot of issues and stuff. So, but it's been pretty okay. I wish that this school had a little more for me, trade job classes. Those would be helpful for me just because I'm one of those people who, obviously I'm going into machining, so I need those type of classes to be able to learn those things. But other than that, it's been pretty well. Most of the teachers are decently good, and I have a couple that I've gone to consistently throughout the year and a half that I've been here. But it's been good. I like the school. I like the opportunities it gives me. I like most of the people in this school. Okay. But it's been really well. It's actually gone better than my other two schools that I've been at for high school. Yeah. So it's nice to be in a school where I fit in and also have the opportunities to become who I want for the future.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So probably not a fair question, and I probably already know the answer. So you said you moved here from Kansas?
I did.
All right. Kansas or Minnesota? What would you, if you had to pick one?
Kansas.
I knew that was going to be the answer, but of course, because that's probably where you spent most of and that's where your friends and family are. Well, we're excited to have you here in Minnesota and here in St. Louis Park Public Schools. You talked a little bit about, some of the wishing that we had more of the classes that are in an area of interest for you. And I would love to, as you talk about your future plans, maybe hear a little bit about what your experience has been like, around trying to get access to courses connected to the trades in the area that you're interested in.
None of my schools have had trade job classes besides wood shop or there was an auto class where you could rebuild a whole car, and I know there's classes here like wood shop and I know it's an engineering class, I just don't remember the name of it, but I just for me, when I go to work for my internship and do everything that I'm doing there, I struggle reading blueprints and understanding what they're talking about because I have never been taught it. So it would be nice to have classes that kind of focus on trade jobs for the people who are like me and are not a school person. I've never had good grades. I have very bad lack of motivation for school, and that's purely just because I'm just not a school person. It's not for me. I'd rather be in there doing it with my hands and taking it from somebody showing it to me and me just being able to repeat it right after you. That's just who I am though, but it would be nice to have classes that I could take from school and just go hop into a job and be okay, I know what this means. And I feel kind of dumb at work, not really dumb, but dumb when it comes to blueprints and some of the terms they use just because I don't know them, but at the same time it gives me an opportunity to learn from their perspective and how they do that and what that means to them, because also in a school setting you can't like they can't show you exactly like everything a machinist does because you don't have the machines or the parts or the tools or anything.
Yeah.
But it would still be nice to at least get names in and like terms and just general stuff about them. Just it would just make things a lot easier for people like me who go into those type
No,
of
I
things.
completely understand everything you're saying, Avery. Actually, earlier this week, I had a chance to sit on the panel at a Twin West Business Council Talent Symposium. So it was a event that was comprised of educators, business professionals, and really everyone was coming together because the business community is like, hey, we have a workforce shortage. We need people like Avery who want to come in into the manufacturing industry. We need them coming in ready to go, right? And as schools, as educators, we're like, hey, we got students like Avery who are really interested in these experiences, and we need to figure out ways to get them connected to these types of opportunities. And I'm thankful that you were able to have an internship experience here, even though, right, like there, I'm hearing you say not necessarily going into that feeling fully prepared, but my hope is that through these internships, partnerships, that we can start to develop our infrastructure at the high school level to give students more hands-on types of experiences, so that when you go into the internship or when you go into the job, you feel better prepared to do what's being required of you.
Yeah.
And so, what are your plans for after high school?
For like right after high school, I'm taking this machinist internship and turning it into a full-time job. Just working, and now that I'm done with school, I'm going to drop my second job and just stick with that. So like that's really just the plan, is just to work. Like I don't have any school after this. I don't want any school
No.
after this. So my plan is just to turn it into a full-time job, take what I get from there, and then hopefully 5 years from now, move to Oklahoma where my family and my nieces are at, because that's where they're from.
Well, that's exciting, and I think sometimes, and I think that's brilliant, and I'm excited for you because it's a very lucrative career. You know, being a machinist, being in that industry. As I've started to go more deeply into like what is being defined as a workforce shortage, I don't necessarily look at it as that there's not enough workforce, because I walk these halls at the high school every day and I see a whole lot of, talent and workers. So it's not a talent shortage. To me, it's about how do business professionals access the talent that's here, like yourself, right?
Right.
I mean, because you're a very talented individual and you're getting ready to go have a very lucrative career as a machinist, right? So I believe, and I've heard you already acknowledge a few people like Miss Mueller and others, but I would imagine that there's probably been other people that have had a positive impact on your experience here, and I just wanted to give you an opportunity to acknowledge them if you would like.
Kirsten Hansen has been my biggest support since I got here. From day one, I go see her once a week. She knows everything. I can email her at any point. She's my biggest support in this school system. Like, and even outside of school, like when I do graduate, me and her have had the conversation of like, if I ever do need somebody outside of my family, I can always reach out to her and she'll be there, which is good to know. And like Miss Mueller and Miss Jacobs is a pottery teacher. I defended her against some students when they were treating her bad, and then after that, me and her have seriously like built a really good like relationship with each other.
Yeah.
So like she's just one of those teachers who I can talk to about anything also. And Miss Bender, who's my chemistry teacher, she's amazing. She's the sweetest person I've ever met. Like, and anytime anything is wrong with me, she's always there. She always tries and finds some way to make me feel better and find a way to like get me out of situations that I know I can't have myself in. And she respects me and I respect her. So it's nice. And I don't really have any other people.
No, that's it. You named quite a few, right? So that's really positive. And thank you so much, Avery, for taking the time to do that. I think it's so important that we, make time to acknowledge the positive impact that other people have on our life. So as a part of the Share the Mic podcast, when we come to the end of our conversation, we do a thing called Mic Drop, which is just an opportunity for you to share any final thoughts that maybe you didn't get a chance to share during our conversation.
I don't have
You don't have any?
none.
Well, that is okay. And I just want to share as my mic drop that I'm thankful that you came to St. Louis Park Public Schools for the last part of your high school experience. And I'm thankful that you were able to make connections to areas that excite you and engage you, and I'm actually really looking forward to you moving into going deeper into your internship and working full time here coming after high school. So best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you being on the podcast today.
Thank you.